So weekly update number 43, and it's back to recorded. I will be doing live though next week, and a little bit late on this update because it has been a bank holiday, but we've got lots going on for you. Check it out. Number 43. So as I said, yeah, we have a bit late publishing this because it's been a bank holiday. And then unfortunately on Sunday, I came down with a bit of a flu type thing. So it wasn't really right to record. But anyway, so we've got it recorded. We're going to get it out, albeit a bit late. And as always, we're going to talk about Spain first, what's going on with our residency and visas, etc. We're then going to go to our YouTube comments and talk about those. And then at the end of the video, I've got a couple of things. I've got the great calendar giveaway. So I have 5 of these calendars from the dog's home that we support in Mijas to give away. And I'll tell you how to do that. And I've also got a report from the start to our bank holiday weekend where the hotel nearly went up in flames. And I took a few videos and did a bit of a roving report of it there. And I thought, you know, why not use it for our weekly update? So anyway, we have, what have we got going on now with the visas? I've got my list down here, so you have to excuse me. We have had, talking about the visas, well, we had 3 visas out, which were submitted. They're from Manchester, and they were submitted on the 20th of September. So that's September, October, November, December. So it's less than the 3 months, but certainly taking their time. And these actually came, this is quite a special case because it came with 2 requerimientos. So immediately when the initial visa application went in, and quite quickly they came to us and asked us for more paperwork for the S1s. That was submitted, and then there's this huge gap right towards the end, and right towards the end before they issued the visa, they came back for another financial requirement, which was then resolved. So actually 2 requirements for this visa, but I'm happy to say that the client's got it and they're coming here to Malaga. So yeah, happy with that. But still a long one from Manchester. Didn't reach the 3 months, but it was long. We've also got the, what have we got going on as well? Renewals coming through, right? The renewals coming through from both Almeria and Granada this last week. Bear in mind, we had a short week last week, a short week this week, only 4 days each week. They're coming out right at the last gap. They're really at the last breath. Even when people are submitting them on time, they're not releasing them until they've nearly got to their 90 days. So, yeah, Almeria and Granada are quite slow on that, which then there's also a problem at the moment in Granada with booking appointments. For some reason, there's just no TIE registration appointments, and we don't know why. We keep trying every day, and we'll keep continuing to try, but we just can't get them at the moment. Some good news on the Padron front in Mazarron. For those of you who are moving to Camposol, which is one of our favourite areas, we've got so many clients over there. And obviously, we speak to Sean from the other YouTube channel, Expat in Mazarron. We watch him a bit. Now, there was a problem with the Padron appointments there and taking an awful long time to get the certificates out. Now, one of our clients who's been watching this, I hope, Mick, thank you so much for this information because this is really, really useful. Mick just went down there without an appointment and got in a queue and was given a number, and he was attended to on the same day. And they said his Padron will take a couple of weeks to come through, and they're going to email it to him. So for people who are struggling to get an appointment there, or even struggling to get through on the phone like we have been, it'd just be worth, I think, going down there, maybe not choosing a Monday, which is generally a hectic day, a Friday where people can't be bothered in the offices, maybe I'd say Tuesday, Wednesday or Thursday, go down there nice and early, get in the queue. And he was actually seen that day. There was a request for another bit of paper, came back next day, handed it in. So well done there, Mick. It's been a pleasure being part of your journey, and we continue to be part of your journey, and great information for everybody out there. And next, moving on to S1 certificates. Now, we have had a couple of cases of S1 certificates where we've had to register them here in Spain in an emergency because people have needed them before they've completed their documentation. And I'm happy to say that the Social Security have seen sense in a lot of these registrations, where normally they request the Res Guarda from the TIE card registration, Padron certificate, and the actual S1. And on a couple of occasions, we've had one now registered with just the visa without actually having the visa registered because the client wasn't able to go because they're not very well. And also with just a rental contract rather than the Padron certificate because it was the similar case. We had further information, obviously, from the hospital. They weren't able to attend or close their other appointments, and the Social Security saw the sense, and they actually registered them. So yeah, that was good. That was great, and great for our clients as well. And the last thing I was going to mention on this section was about the withdrawal agreement permanent residencies. Now, for those of you who got your withdrawal agreement, those of you who had the green European card before Brexit and then exchanged it for a TIE card, you would have potentially lost some of your days to request a permanent one. Well, you didn't lose them. They're always there. They're just not stated on your card. So you would have got a card for 5 years. Say, for example, you got your green card in 2018, exchanged it in 2020. You would have got a 5-year TIE card, but you're going to be eligible for permanent residency 5 years after the start of the initial card. Now, we had a problem in one of the police stations where we were trying to do this switch to a permanent card before our client actually had their current expiry date on the temporary card because their actual residency period was 5 years, and they just said, no, we're not doing it. Well, that was not actually right. And some people want their permanent card early because it comes with various benefits. So we tried again in Malaga, and it actually worked. Basically, what the police said was, look, it was really handy that we had a copy of the original green card, because then we could prove what the original first date was of the residency. And then they had to call over a supervisor who essentially actually annulled, shall we say, the card, not the residency status, the card, the temporary card, 5 years, reissued it. And because of the date of the residency, it automatically kicked out a permanent one. So that's quite good, because we've got a couple of these cases coming up, and I have seen on Facebook people saying that they haven't been able to do it and they've come up against resistance. Well, that is actually true. We come up against a lot of this resistance trying to do this, but it looks like in Malaga they've seen sense, and they've had a couple of cases going through, and we've got a few more to go now. So we'll keep you in the loop with that. Okay then, so now what we're going to do, let's take you over to our YouTube. There we go, and a little jiggery thing. I'm going to get better ones for doing this. Now we're using this different software as well, but I'm looking at the camera, but then I have to keep looking around as well. So I think I need to get a camera here in the middle, so it doesn't look like I'm looking down. Anyway, we'll work it out. So where are we with the YouTube comments then? So let's bring them in. We have, first of all, here we have a comment on, well, I did a short about Mercadona. Now, I keep forgetting, we're trying to get more of everyday life on. I know we talk a lot about visas, but also we want some content about just what happens in Spain, why people move to Spain. And so I've started this sort of top tips, shorts of things. Check it out. If it's any good or if it's naff, please let me know. So every time I'm doing something on a daily basis, I think, oh, that'd be a good top tip for Spain. I'm just going to do a short. And I did one about Mercadona because I went to buy some Christmas presents, and then I realized that I was about to walk off, and then Lara called me and went, you know that they'll give you your wrapping paper there, don't you? And I was like, oh, really? Oh, cool. Okay, so I went to this lady in Mercadona. She wrapped them all up for me, gift bagged. Perfect. Okay, to be fair, they are branded Mercadona, but hey, it's still a gift bag. So I did a short on it, and Robbo in Spain, who's nearly up to 50 subscribers. So come on, Robbo, let's get you to 100. Forget 50, 100 for Robbo for Christmas, please. He said, he mentioned something, and I haven't got the original comment here. Oh, it says Mercadona, definitely the cheapest price supermarket in Spain. We do our shopping there, but have to get certain things elsewhere. But Mercadona is the best. I would say Mercadona is the best place to go in and just go, I need this, and this. But they very carefully price their goods because they have some everyday items, which are extremely, should we say, well priced, and then some of their other stuff is really bumped up. But yeah, Mercadona as a general shopping place, albeit I think it's got a lot more expensive in the last 2 years, is still a great supermarket. They had apparently, so I was told by somebody who also has a child with this problem, that apparently the family members of one of the owner of Mercadona have gluten-free and intolerant to gluten, and that's why there's so many gluten-free products there, and they are pioneers in gluten-free products in Spain, apparently. But yeah, so Mercadona, a good all-round supermarket, and generally has a good fish market there as well. Though I would always, where possible, advocate supporting your local shop. And I said to him, maybe we need to get Robbo on the channel talking about his shopping experience. So I think that'd be a good idea, to be honest with you, because albeit we waffle on about visas, we also want to put some everyday life stuff on. So come on, we'll get you on, Robbo. And yeah, I have my top tips for Christmas. And I'm just showing you some of the nicer comments, the funnier ones. Kev the Argonaut, will they do that for people with 2 arms? Well, Chris, but seriously, glad to see you using both. Yeah, so they do it for people with 2 arms. Yes, I am using both arms. Yay, this one here is the broken one. You can see it's still broken, actually, when you see the x-ray, but it doesn't matter because it's got the pole in it, and it's doing well. It hurts when you get to there. I said, yeah, exactly 2 months since the operation, and I'm doing okay. Top stuff, but as you probably found out, it doesn't get better unless you put the effort into physio and exercises at the early outset with pain and seemingly no progress. That isn't too easy or encouraging, but it definitely makes a difference. It certainly does, Kev. I can tell you the physio is so painful. I'd never felt pain like it. I think sometimes it's as bad as when you have the break, because but I've got really good physio, but it's when they get right underneath into your arm, and you know, so if you see stars, then tell me, but if not, just put up with it, he says. So there you go. But then again, you get the results. I'm back at work. I'm going to be back driving soon. And the arms, look at this. After that, couldn't believe 2 months ago, they put a rod, well, less than 2 months ago, 7 weeks ago, rod in the arm. So I'm well happy with the results of our physio. Hats off to him. Now about our podcast 9, renewing the non-lucrative visa 2025. Hi Chris, what's your vid from 12 months ago about obtaining a NIE number? This is Jed Tierney, who's always on the show with us. When we see scats as well, he often jumps on there. Obtaining an NIE number as an EU citizen. Really interesting for those of us who are eligible and may just want to have one set up to give us options in the future. Yeah, I mean, you can get one even if you come in on holiday. If you don't particularly, you do have to give them a reason why you want one. But, you know, some people like just have their foot in the door if they're thinking of moving to Spain. It's one step closer as well. So, yeah, NIE numbers, you can get them as an EU citizen and as non-EU citizens, even as a non-resident. It's just your ID and tax number. Jeremy Ferguson, IFA capital gains, tax and pensions. This comes from Mark Linda Holmes 963. Mark, I believe you filled out the form to speak to Jeremy, and that's already gone over to him, so he should be in contact with you soon. But unfortunately, it hasn't been that well this week. We've all got this horrible sort of cold thing. Jane had it last week, who works with us here. She was awful, very ill, and then we all seem to have caught it this week, but luckily it seems to have only affected my nose and speech, but I don't actually feel that ill, so that's good. Great video, thanks Jeremy and Chris. We're selling a house in the UK, which is our main residence, retiring and buying a property in Menorca on an NLV to live permanently. We are 63 and 62 years old. Would we be liable for capital gains? Well, check out Jeremy's. I think you would be, based on what Jeremy said in this podcast, if you got it on the wrong time of the year. So definitely have a word with Jeremy. And Jeremy, would you be able to look after our finances as we would be in Menorca? Yeah, he wouldn't have a problem with that. I can tell you that because he's got some of our clients in Mallorca. So I have seen you filled out the form, guys, and that has gone over to Jeremy for him to contact you. And the next one, to podcast 9, renewing a non-lucrative visa in 2025. What great video as always. Is there a way to fill out the Model 210 form free or cheaply? Also, how to work out cadastral value of my property. Can recommend tips or people to do so. Thanks. I would never do any Hacienda form on my own. Actually, the Model 2010, you can do it free if you've got a digital certificate and actually submit it yourself. Your cadastral value, you should be able to get with your IBI house tax receipt. But to be honest with you, you know, for what a gestor would charge you to submit it, probably 45, 50 euros, albeit the tax might only be 45, 50 euros. I think it's worth doing it to make sure it's done properly. Plus, don't forget that if you employ somebody like a gestor to do it, they always have their liability insurance in case, you know, they present it wrong and you get a letter from the tax office. It's their responsibility. So I would always advise that you get someone else to do it, to be honest. Definitely a gestor or a contable, an accountant. Next one is documents you don't need for non-lucrative renewal since you're allowed to leave. This is JMTM4HB. Since you're allowed to leave Spain while on an NLV, you can actually get a disease from anywhere in the world to travel. Yeah, that's correct. So you don't need a medical certificate for a renewal of a non-lucrative visa. And in my opinion, you shouldn't have to have one for the initial application as well, because it's ridiculous that this medical certificate lasts for 90 days. How on earth is anybody going to know that after you've had that certificate for 90 days that you haven't gone and caught a disease? I mean, if you say, for example, you went and got your medical certificate in June the 1st, and then you traveled to a very exotic location on July the 1st, and then you came back and went to your appointment on August the 1st, excuse me, then your certificate would still be valid. And who on earth knows that you've got a disease from that exotic location you've been to? So I think it's a ridiculous thing to have in the first place. And last one here, podcast number 9, renewing your non-lucrative visa in 2025. We use N26. This is always a popular question. We use N26 in the majority of our banking. I think I might have answered this last week. Don't know. If I move the funds needed to our renewal now, if I move the funds needed for our renewal now, will the authority accept N26 as a Spanish bank? As I said before, you know, it's getting more and more popular, online banking, where people don't physically use banks, they don't physically have an office to go and get the good old stamped statements. And we have seen more and more that the estanquerías have been accepting them, especially people like N26. So I think you can actually download the statements in Spanish, but it's all down to the verification of the statement. And a lot of the time, the statements are from online don't have any sort of verifying factors, and they just don't accept them. So, albeit if you want guarantees, put the money in a Spanish bank account, which is a high street account, and get your documents from there, which then raises the question, well, it hasn't been in there long enough. Well, you can certainly then use the N26 statements to prove how long and where the money's been, but ultimately you can show them the history and show them where it's currently sat now and the transfer into the account if you're feeling unsure. If not, submit the statements, and if they come back and they don't accept them, then you'll have to do that anyway. But yeah, it's a common problem a lot of the time. So okay, so we've done our residencies, we've done our YouTube. So let's move on now to what is happening in Spain. And I had this lovely, I wanted to show you this. Oh, where is it gone now? Here we go. Oh no, I'll show you this then, shall I? This is what's happening in Spain. That is what happened at the start of my bank holiday weekend, last weekend. Oh, it's processing. I don't know if you guys can see it processing. I don't know. Anyway, so let's talk about Spain now. I'm going to talk about this in a minute. We went to a hotel at the weekend. I took 4 days off for the bank holiday and really enjoyed it. We had some good family time in a hotel very close to here down in Polynesia World. Some of you might know it. But about an hour after we got there was a big kerfuffle going on, and one of the chiringuitos on the outside of the building caught on fire. You couldn't believe it. So I did a bit of a report, which I'm gonna give to you now. Actually, I've just stitched all the videos together, and I thought you might want to see it. But before that, we have got the great calendar giveaway. Look at this. So Ace Shin calendars. This is a dog's home. They also do rehouse cats as well in Mijas. And every year we sponsor the calendar along with other companies. There you go. You can see us there. And also we sponsor 2 pages. There we go, 2 pages. Upsticks Drive do as well. Look at the Upsticks Drive dog. Look at that. It's an extremely good cause. And don't forget, like, these guys have been through the mill completely. It has been a few years ago the fires, and then it was the floods, and then it was the weather, and then there's just, you know, not only are they battling the fact that they've got to rehouse these animals, and obviously, you know, it's a difficult thing to do. They're always trying to raise money, and we like to support them any way we can. So being in the calendar is a good way. So we've got 5 of these to give away. So the first 5 comments that say calendar below, okay, we'll get a calendar sent out to you, and we can send these out to the UK. It's not a problem because it's paperwork, isn't it? So you don't have to declare it or anything like that. So if you want one of these calendars, and you like, and we're not asking for any money to support them. They've already been paid for. We've already done that. But if you want a calendar, just write in the comments below calendar, and the first 5 people to write calendar, I will drop you my email address so you can send me your address, unless we've got it, unless you're a client already, and we will send them that out to you for Christmas. So there you go. That's the calendar giveaway. I've got a few more, and I've got 5 of these to give away for you today. Calendar, write it in the comments if I didn't say that before. And now, thanks for watching. I'm now going to hand you over to myself from last week with a bit of a report from what happened at the Hotel Grand, I think it's called Hotel Grand Polynesia or something, Polynesia World down in Benalmádena, which I can honestly say I do recommend for families if you're coming over, especially this time of year. It's very cheap. They had a great entertainment team. They also got a spa and indoor pool if you want to get into that as well. And the food was amazing, but we just had a fortunate experience on the first night. So check this out. Right, so bank holiday weekend, first day, finished work early on Thursday. It was nice, get out, first break. This is my arm break, and check it out. So we've been evacuated, so unfortunately the outdoor bar just went up in flames, and luckily quick response from the bomberos we've already had here so far. It's so quick. First of all, there was a bit of a muddle up when it first went up. To be fair, the staff didn't really know what to do. Immediately one of them came down, took charge, got us all back. The entertainers from the hotel got us back, and then fire protocols been initiated, so we've all been evacuated. We have the local, the national police here, and the bomberos all within about 10 minutes, so it's fantastic. And they're just out there putting it out. But I tell you, it was quite a scary fire, wasn't it?
Yeah.
From inside. Oof. But huge, quick reaction from the authorities here. And so we've had 2 different police forces already turn up, and 3 different fire engines, of which one of them's down the bottom. You've got the control one there. There's another one there, a lad, if we need it. And more people are coming to check in. Don't think they're going to be checking in yet, do you?
Oh, look, it's getting worse. It's getting worse, look.
No, but that's because they're putting it out. So when they put it out, obviously the more smoke comes up, doesn't it?
It's not that type of coloured smoke, it's grey.
It's grey, yeah, it means they're putting it out. So, yeah. Crazy times, eh? This is, you're out and about in Spain. This is the first, you'll be watching this video on Sunday when we release it. And this is the first day of our weekend. So, we'll, bank holiday weekend, all very excited. A very amazing reaction from the emergency services here.
You guys okay? Yeah? Lara from Upsticks Drive, following the fire protocol. You have tenors of Benalmádena there in the background. Well, that's it. So that's it. We're loud back in the hotel now. Bit of an adventure. That wow. What's happening in Spain now? Look at the back of us here behind me. Those guys in the orange there, I don't know if you can see them. They're the entertainers from the hotel, and they've been absolutely amazing. The first thing they did when everybody's outside was pull out carts of water, giving people water. And it was, you know, we weren't anywhere near the fire, just making sure everybody was okay, that nobody was stressed. And they told us all we can come back into reception now because it's getting a little bit chilly outside for some people. Well, it was a bad situation, caused, can I say, by somebody throwing a cigarette butt on top of the roof. They just flicked it. And well dealt with, fire procedure put in place, and all of us are not worried, feeling comfortable and looking forward to going for our tea. So well done, Polynesian World. Right, what else has been happening in Spain? Well, we thought it was all under control, but the window broke in the hotel, and check this out. So we're all being evacuated again. So the fire's out, but now the police have all run into the hotel and told us to get out because the window broke and it's unsafe to be inside. Well, we handled it very well, I have to say. So, well, last video we were just going down the bottom to that's actually the second hotel, and we've all been down the restaurant there. It got crazy when we left. They're trying to cram everybody in, but obviously that's normal, trying to fit 2 hotels into one. And at this hotel, for people who didn't have all-inclusive or may not have had access to a meal, they have actually put this huge buffet on outside. I mean, how they arranged it so quick with all these fire engines and everything about it is incredible. I don't know if I can show you if you get in trouble because you're not allowed to film official vehicles. But yeah, so it's this like, you see the representatives here also from the companies as well. Let's have a look here. So you can see there's a big buffet there. There you go. Big buffet there, food. That's alright. And I've just walked out from the other hotel, which is about half a kilometre away to see what's happening. What they told me was, look, all the firemen and there, they've got fans going on. They're checking to see if it's safe, if they think it's going to be okay to enter and let everybody stay there tonight. Because if not, they're going to have a huge problem on their hands. Because I've just seen a news article about this already, and I reckon it's 700 people. I don't think it's 700, I think that's definitely, doesn't seem like 700 people, but definitely 300 or 400 of us. So there we go. So I'm going to walk back down to the hotel where we had our tea. So it was Village Inn or something, Village Hotel. Leave all this lot behind me. Tell the family that the good news is there's good prospect of actually sleeping in the hotel tonight. If not, we'll all be getting a taxi and go somewhere else. That's the lady on the door. What was the plan if we don't get to go in? She just shrugged her shoulder and went, let's just hope that doesn't happen. I feel for them. These people who work in hotels, you know, it's a hard job. I said it is a hard job, and have to put up with this now. I have to say, but it's been very reasonable. So yeah, there we go. You might be able to hear the alarm still going off. Don't know if you can hear that from here. Yeah, very exciting stuff. Start to the bank holiday weekend. So the morning after the night before, and everything's calm. You can see behind me. Phone unfortunately went dead, so I couldn't get any more videos last night. And behind me is the scene of the fire. It made the papers as well, but the good news is that nobody got hurt. It was only material damage. To be fair, they really did handle the situation quite well in the end. The emergency services were great. By the time we got back up to the hotel, they gave us the word around about 10:30, 11 o'clock that we could head back up. The smoke had cleared in the hotel. There's huge fans going, and albeit with a cough, and there was a bit of smoky smell in the room. It was all good. We woke up this morning and it's the bank holiday as normal, so a bit of excitement really for the December bank holiday weekend. Let's hope nothing else happens in the next 3 days.